Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live, and I'm going to show you today how I made a card with the Stampin' Up! Shell Collecting stamp set. This is one of the newer ones from the current mini catalog, so it's one of those that's available to order right now, and the catalog ordering just started. I guess it was the 6th of January, something like that. So earlier this month, and this is one of the cute stamp sets that is available to order right now. And I'm hoping that I'm actually live because for some reason, there we go. Okay, the live finally popped up on, on my computer and I'm like, what in the world is going on? So it must be a bit of a delay between what I can see and what you guys can see. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully I'm actually live. I think I'm good to go. And I just did a little wiggling around on the screen. I think I'm set up and in a spot where hopefully you guys can see what I'm working on. So this is the card we're going to be making today. Again, the Shell Collecting is the name of the stamp set bundle. Hey, Lisa and Michelle, thanks for hopping in. Glad you guys are here, and Barbara as well. So this is it, just kind of a fun beach-themed birthday card that I thought I would do with one of the cool new stamp sets. This is a reversible stamp set, so I'll show you how it works in just a minute. It's basically you get to use the flip side of some of the stamps if you want to color them in really easily and quickly without having to get any markers or anything out. You basically can just clean the stamp, flip it over, and stamp the backside. So, hey, Sally, and all right, Lisa, Pam, Kathy, Carol, everybody, thanks for hopping in. So, yeah. It's a cute little set, definitely. So, hey, Sherry, thanks for joining. All right, so that's the card we're going to be making. Shell Collecting is the name of the stamp set. And again, like I said, it's reversible, so that's why it's shown the way it is. So you've got the detailed side, and then you can flip it over and use the solid side to kind of color it in really quick and easily. So again, I'll show you as I'm going through the card how we do that. Another thing that I did use on this card is I'm trying to find a spot to put some of this stuff, too much junk sitting around here, is the Banner Sayings stamp set bundle. So this is the triple banner punch that coordinates with it, and it just restocked, I think, yesterday, so I was happy to see that. So it's back in stock. If you've been waiting on this one, it's back, and you can order it right now. So again, Banner Sayings, and it's just one of those fun stamp sets, got a bunch of different sayings in it, and then all these little banner images that you can use to punch them out. My favorite two are the top two, but I'm not going to say I'll never use this bottom one, but I like banners more than arrows, and so I use the banner punches on this all the time. So again, triple banner punch and the Banner Sayings stamp set they're online exclusive items, so those are available out in the online store. I'm sorry, banging that around right now. And final stamp set that I used on this is called Lasting Linen, and it is a background stamp, and again, this is one of the online exclusive items, so you won't find it in the catalog, you'll just find it out in the online store. All right, let's see. Oh, and then Stylish Shapes, which of course I did use that because, you know, it's rare when I make a card without it. I did cut around the square images, or I cut the squares, cut around the shell images with one of the Stylish Shapes dies. All right, a couple things before we get going. Bonus days is going on right now. So for every $50 that you order in Stampin' Up! Merchandise in a single order between January 6th and February 2nd, you're going to earn a $5 bonus coupon that you can spend during the month of February. So from February 3rd to the 28th, you can redeem those coupons. There's no limit to the number that you can collect and no limit to the number that you can redeem. You can actually get a whole order and not pay anything for it if you have enough coupons to cover it. So let me know if you have questions on that. Again, bonus days going on now. Fabulous Sayings is the product of the month from Stampin' Up! This month. So for January, it's a cute little stamp set. It's got some great sentiments in it, kind of a nice mix and match one that you can use for quite a few reasons, seasons, whatever, during the year. For the product of the month, you do need to place an order of $75 or greater, and then you can get the stamp set or whatever the product of the month is for $5. So it's kind of a little bit of a bargain. So let me know if you have questions about that. Product of the month is always available while supplies last, but so far I have not heard that it is low inventory or anything like that. So hopefully there's plenty to go around. And then final thing, just as I was chatting earlier about the online exclusives, those are items that are obviously online only. They're not tied to any catalog, so they kind of come and go at different times. So make sure that you're always checking those out anytime you're out shopping in the online store, because you don't want to miss out on something really good. So to find those, you can log into stampinup.com and then go to the menu button on the upper left, and then they'll hit the little button that says online exclusives, and it'll take you right to that. And there's pages and pages of them out there. And again, they've got new things coming about every other month. Things are being discontinued here and there. So yeah, just definitely go check those out. All right, enough yakking. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining. All right, so we started here with a thick basic white card base that is cut to 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4 in the middle. So just your standard issue card base. And again, thick basic white is what the base is. And then I've got a piece of the Country Woods Designer Series paper. So this is a great pack. If you don't have it yet, why don't you have it is the number one question. But no, if you don't have it yet, you should get it, because it's got some awesome wood grain designs, and they're perfect for background cards of all sorts. You can use it with floral images, and like I've done here, beach images, trees, masculine images. So it's a great pack of paper. If you have not got it, go get yourself a pack, or like 3 or 4, because I think I'm on my 3rd pack of it now, maybe 4th. So I love this paper. And it is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5, so it should fit and cover the entire card front if I've cut everything correctly here, which hopefully I have. Let me flip it over and make sure. Yep, looks like I'm on there fairly straight. All right, so that's our background paper. Then I took a piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to move my card aside because I'm going to be doing a little background stamping. And it uses this big giant block, which is is this E or F? I can't ever remember. Oh, F, the F block. So it's a big giant block. And I'm inking up the whole image, and we're going to stamp it off on scrap paper once and then stamp it on here. So it's kind of one of those big ones. So, hey, Lori, thanks for joining. So we've got crumb cake ink to start with, and this is, again, the lasting linen stamp set. Again, it's an online exclusive item, so you're not going to find this one in a catalog. You'll only see it out in the online store. And I apologize if I'm wiggling the screen around. The easiest way, in my opinion, to ink up these big background stamps is to flip them over on the back and then ink them up, and then, yeah, and then stamp them. So, all right. So I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to stamp it on my grid paper in the background first. So I want it to be stamped off once. And then I'm going to go to my actual paper, and we are just going to stamp it on the piece of basic white cardstock. And I think this one measures, I don't know, I think it's probably 4 1/4 by 5.5-ish. But it doesn't have to be any certain size, particularly on this one, because of the way that I'm going to be using it. It's not going to cover the entire card front or anything like that, so I just need it to generally cover most of it. So hopefully you can see that on there. Again, sometimes it's a little hard to see with the lighting when you're doing videos, but it's a really cool linen background stamp. So it is freezing here in New Jersey, Meryl. I'm telling you, it is, yes, it's freezing here. I think the air temperature is supposedly 33 or 32, somewhere in that range, but the wind is blowing, and man, it is cold out there. So, all right. So I've got pecan pie ink, and we are going to start with the kind of lined or more detailed image for one of the shell collecting images here. And again, I'm just going to randomly sort of stamp these across the paper. I don't have any special way that they need to be on here. This one actually, again, you can use these 2 different ways. I could clean this off and flip it over, but when you flip it and do the reverse, it doesn't line up correctly. So it's going to be like giving you the opposite image, which is not going to fit very well over the top of the image you've just stamped. But thankfully in this stamp set, Stampin' Up! Gave us 2 of these, and they are flipped opposite directions. So basically you can stamp the one detailed and then grab the other stamp and ink it up in your pecan pie ink, and then stamp it over the top. And you've got your fill-in image all done on that one. So that's how the reversible stamps work. Except, of course, I started with one that wasn't a great example of that because, because I didn't show you that I had to take it off. The second one we're going to be using here, I will show you that we do have to take it off, clean it, and flip it over. So this one is Coastal Cabana ink, and this is the other, it's just a little seashell here. We're going to stamp that one. We'll give that stamp right there. Then I'm going to take my cleaning cloth and I'm going to scrub that off from my little squeegee here. And then we flip it over on the block and then ink it up in Coastal Cabana ink for the more solid side. And again, I'm going to stamp it on scrap paper and then just line it up and stamp it right over the top of the other image. So that's how these stamps, the reversible ones, work, which is pretty cool, in my little opinion. Again, this one is kind of one of those long pointy shells. So you have the stamp, and yeah, it's a good one. So lots of fun to play with. So, all right, I think we'll go ahead and I'll just, while I'm here, going to ink up this one and we'll stamp it. I don't know, I'll probably regret doing this because I can't remember exactly how I stamped them the first time around, but that's the more detailed. And then this one also has a 2 of these in there, so it is in fact actually reversible. So I've got the other one here and I'll stamp it right over the top. So that's your little fill-in image for that one. Then we'll grab crumb cake ink, get that out of the way. And we'll stamp a couple more images here. So this one is your starfish image. And I think we'll stamp that one probably right over here. And again, same thing. We're going to clean it off and then flip it over. So under a winter advisory for 3 days. Yikes. We're supposed to get a little snow here, I've heard, in New Jersey, but I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to amount to a whole lot in our area. It's just been darn cold. All right, so that's the reversible of the little starfish image. And then we've got this larger shell. I should probably know all the names of these shells, but of course I don't. We're going to take that one. I'm trying to decide how I want to fit that one in here. I think we'll go like that. And again, clean this off. Flip it over. And then stamp the more solid image. Again, inking it up, stamping it on scrap paper, and then stamping it over the more solid image. And then the final one that we've got here is this little round shell. And I don't know where, I think I'm going to stamp this one on here a couple times. We'll do one up here. And I'm using pecan pie for this one. And one maybe over here. And then cleaning it off. Flipping it over. And then ink up the back of it. Again, stamping it on scrap paper. Lining it up generally over the other image. All right, and the same one over here. All right, there we go. So they're all stamped and officially colored in with the flip side images. So super quick and easy. You can always, get out a marker or something, Stampin' Blends, and color these in if you want to. But in my opinion, this is super quick and easy. So, all right, let me grab my dies. Now I'm going to grab this one. It's the middle die for the squares, basically. It's third from the smallest, third from the largest, so we'll call it the middle one. And then I'm just basically going to cut 3 pieces. So I'm going to take this, run it through maybe like that. Then we're going to move it over to here and cut that. And then we'll move it down here and cut that one. So I just basically wanted it to cut out 3 squares kind of randomly from my paper. So, and if I get them cut and I decide, oh, there's a big empty space somewhere that I want to stamp some more of the images on, I can certainly do that. But again, just kind of wanted a random little, grabbing a couple seashells from this side, a few from that side sort of thing as I was die cutting it. So I'm going to go run this through the die cutting machine the first time, and then I'll come back and show you what I did, and then we'll do it 2 more times. All right. Okay, see if I can get this on here. All right, so there's die cut number 1. And that one's going to be die cut number 2, and then we're going to do the 3rd one from right here. All right, there you go. Get that out of the way and put my die set away here. So again, if you wanted to add a few more little images on it here and there, you certainly can do that. I know that I'm going to be layering some of these pieces on top of each other, so it's not going to bother me terribly that we've got some areas that aren't completely stamped on it. So I'll just kind of fit it together how I think it looks good, and then we'll glue it to the card front. All right. Ahead of time, I did cut some squares. These are 2 inches by 2 inches, and they were cut from Coastal Cabana cardstock. So we're just going to adhere the squares one to the other, basically, the die cut squares to the little hand cut squares here. So there's square number 1. And I'm running really low on Stampin' Seal, but I do have another one that is set up and ready to go. So when this one runs out, I don't have to mess around and change the tape in front of you. I did think to grab one of those ahead of time. Hopefully I have everything else I need, but you know, no guarantees. All right, so putting the final one on here. All right, there we go. And then we're going to adhere these to the card front. So we're going to take one of them and put it over here. One is going to go down here, and then we'll do the final one kind of popped up and up there. So that's generally the layout that I want. Again, you can rearrange them however you would like as you're putting yours together and layer them up. If you want it to look totally different, you can do that. Just layer them on however you think it looks good. But I usually try to lay it out a little bit before I stick the first pieces down, so I, again, generally know where things are going to land, because sometimes I think I'm going to like the layout, and then I lay it all out, and then I don't like it, so then I redo it. And so anyhow, in my opinion, it's always better to kind of lay things out, see what you like and don't like, and then stick it down after that. So, all right, got this one. We're going to stick on about right there. And then the final one we're going to put on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So how do I decide on my layouts? Sometimes it is, well, almost all the time, it's a sketch from somewhere, whether it's another card that I've seen that I like the layout of. But yeah, that's usually it. Oh, shoot, sorry, the dog is going to be barking. I don't know for sure why. Hopefully she won't go too crazy. But no, it's usually just, it's a sketch layout of some sort. I knew it. Of course, Amazon is supposed to be delivering a package, and I'm like, no, they won't deliver it while I'm in here live. And my guess is Amazon's delivering the package. So I apologize. Hopefully it's not driving your dogs crazy listening to Ginny. So, all right, I've got some linen thread here, and we're going to tie a little bow. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, Ginny, I know the package is still there. So going to tie the bow. Hopefully the Amazon guy will go away soon. I always wonder what they do out there when she's barking like a crazy dog. I don't know. Standing there taking the picture, I guess, to make sure that they know I delivered it. So Ginny is a golden doodle, so she's a big old baby, fluffy and generally afraid of most things. So she's a pretty good-sized dog, but she's not a huge dog. So, but she does have a big voice. And yeah, like I said, Karen Kay knows her, so she's seen her and been around her several times, and she knows she's generally just a big baby. She makes a lot of racket when somebody comes up to the house, which is good. I like to know that, but for the most part, she'd hold the door. If somebody was coming in to steal something, she'd probably hold the door wide open for them. So, all right, now I've got a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I've got my Happy Birthday sentiment from the Banner Sayings stamp set, and we are going to heat emboss it. So I'm going to use Versamark ink, and we're going to stamp in Versamark ink on the crumb cake cardstock. And then I'm going to grab my heat tool. Oh, no, first, I guess I should put some embossing powder on it first. So I've got some white embossing powder from the Basics Wow embossing powders. They're sold as a set of 3, so you get white, black, and clear when you order the basics, and then there's a metallics pack that you get gold, silver, and copper in. All right, I'm gonna grab my heat tool here. So she is, well, she's kind of a good guard dog. Like I said, she makes a lot of racket, and she has a big voice, but she's not very much interested in the guarding side of things. She's much more interested in the petting side of things. So, all right, so Stampin' Up! Heat Tool has 2 settings on it. There's a level 1 setting for drying and the level 2 setting for heat embossing. So the level 2 setting does get a little bit hotter. But, all right, heat embossing. If you haven't done it before, it's actually really simple to do. Just obviously stamp in your Versamark ink and add your embossing powder and then heat it until it gets kind of smooth and shiny and a little bit brighter. The only mistakes you can make with heat embossing is number one, not to have enough ink on your Versamark ink pad, and then you're not going to get a very good image. Number two, to overheat it. You can actually burn it, and it's not very pretty when you burn embossing powder. Trust me, been there, done that many times. So, all right, I'm going to grab my triple banner punch, and I'm going to use the middle banner for the birthday sentiment here. So I'm going to line that up and punch it out. So she does try. She tries to make herself sound like a really big, scary dog, and then yes, she's very scary and very loud until you open up the door, and then she's like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't mean for them to come in. I wasn't here for the part about having to guard you once they come in. I just wanted them to know that I was here. So, all right, got a couple little Stampin' dimensionals, and we're going to go ahead and flip it over here and stick it right over the top of the linen thread that I've got on here. I think we'll scooch it over just a little bit, kind of have it overhang this image just a bit. So yes, that is exactly how Ginny is. She's the hugest baby, and she would much rather be curled up in your lap or whatever than be doing anything else. So, and she's kind of a little old lady. She has her bedtime, and if nobody's putting the dog to bed, once it gets dark outside, she just will stand there and kind of stomp her feet for a few minutes, and then she'll just put herself to bed. And because you'll be looking around like, where's the dog? And then you go, oh, she's already put herself to bed. So, all right. Pearls of Beauty are what I used for the embellishment on here. So I just kind of tucked a few of them right around the sentiment. And I don't know why I like white pearls with beach themed things on the white background. So I think they're kind of pretty, just a little bit of something, but not too over the top on it. So that is it for the card front. So on the inside of it, we're going to stamp a couple more of those little seashells. So I need to get my ink pads back out here. I can't even remember which ones I stamped. All right, the not sand dollar, starfish is the first one I'm going to do. So I'm going to take that, and again, I need to clean the back side of it off because that was what I used last. And we're going to ink up the detailed starfish, stamp that here, and then we're going to clean that off again and flip it over and ink the back side of it and stamp it on the scrap paper, then stamp it over the top. There we go. Then I think this was the other one that I used, this little kind of swirly one. So we're going to, again, clean the back of it, flip it over. And no, you know what? This isn't the one because it was this one that I used because I did one in each of the colors. So I'm glad y'all are liking the card. And like I said, the layout, I know I saw a sketch somewhere, and I can't remember where I saw it, but somewhere I saw a sketch and just kind of incorporated the pieces. So, all right, then we're going to use the little clamshell looking one in Coastal Cabana ink. And we'll take that one and stamp it over on this corner. Then again, just cleaning it in between times, flipping it over, and doing the solid image. There we go. Stamping it on scrap paper, stamping it over the top. There we go. And then the final one is that larger shell. We're going to grab pecan pie ink for that one. And then we're going to stamp the detailed image first. So again, just inking it up with pecan pie. And we'll go like that over the edge. And then this one, remember, is the one that's got the stamp that's already reversed for it, so I don't have to take it off the block and clean it in between times. But I do want to stamp it off, so there we go. All right, got that stamped over that one. And then the final thing I wanted to add was just the little celebrate sentiment. And I'm doing that in pecan pie ink, sort of over to the side like that. And that's going to be it for the card. So just need to stick this on the inside with a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and I'm kind of putting it up here away from the area where I've got ink on my grid paper, because for some reason, particularly the white pieces in the card, I often end up sticking them in something inky that I didn't mean to. All right, so we'll stick that together. A little bit of Stampin' Seal. So that's the inside of the card, quick and easy in there too. And then just gonna grab the bone folder and give it a quick crease. And that's it for the card. So definitely one of those stamp sets. It's kind of tucked away in the back of the catalog, but it's a good one. So again, it's called Shell Collecting, and it's got the reversible stamps in it, so you can use flip sides back and forth on them to color them in. It makes it quick and easy. And again, I mean, who doesn't love it? Well, I love a beach themed card, so I can't say who doesn't. Hopefully y'all like it too. So thanks so much for joining. And I'm looking at the title on this finally, and thank you to YouTube. It changed it to Shell Collecting instead of Shell Collecting. The little autocorrect on it, I will fix that. So moving forward, it'll show the correct stamp set name. I didn't even notice that until just now. So thanks everybody for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and you all stay warm too. I'll be posting the details for this card, all the cardstock cuts, inks, all that stuff on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. And once I get the blog post up around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, I will come back and link it in the description of the video, so you'll be able to find the details for the card tomorrow. And there'll be a printable PDF tutorial, all the good stuff out there. So thanks again for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you all Tuesday around 2 o'clock Eastern time next week. And then I'll plan to be live again around 2 o'clock Eastern time on Friday. So till then, have a good one.